be sure if you open your eyes, you'll see the ones who are wise. No, they're never on their own. As I prepare to leave this place, there's sadness in the air. Your friendship is a gift to me, a treasure beyond compare. And whenever you need some love to share, just think of me and I'll be there. Well, to flush me as a bore with community, I can be secure. You are to me my family. I don't need to feel alone. Well, to flush me as a bore, you are here for me, and I can be sure if you open your eyes, you'll see the ones who are wise. No, they're never on their own.
Most religious traditions model the revelatory experience of God off the experience of a single person, a Jesus, a Buddha. These individual people had awakening experiences that the tradition then models after. But our Jewish tradition, it's not a single person who had the awakening, but at Mount Sinai, the entire Jewish people awakened to God's presence. As the commentator Rashi says, as one people with one heart, which is another way of saying that the experience of God, the spiritual experience, really happens most profoundly in community. There is also another midrash that each person heard the voice at Sinai in their own unique way. So the people had their own experience as a community and as an individual. There's another rabbinic midrash commentary that the Torah has 70 faces, meaning that there are an infinite way of interpreting Torah, and that really, if we want to understand more about ourselves and each other, we need each other's interpretations. We need each other's insights. Our rabbis elevate the practice of argument, l'shem shamayim, for the sake of heaven, really understanding that truth is not something that happens on one's own, but something that happens in dialogue with each other. We need each other. We need each other's Torah. We need each other's insight. A lot of us have noticed that we, in this generation, don't have the same sense of community that we have in past generations. Sociologist Mark Dunkelman, in his book The Vanishing Neighbor, observes that we don't really know our neighbors or the people at the corner store or having everyday contact with a group of people, and that in many ways we as Americans have grown more isolated from each other. We drive from our house to work, and that kind of breakdown of community, he says, could be framed, as anthropologist Robin Dunbar does, through looking at 3 different levels of relationships that we have. So Robin Dunbar observes that, and has done studies, that human beings can only hold so many relationship connections in their brain at a certain time. And so we have to prioritize where we give our attention. There is 3 rings of relationship. One is the inner ring, is our close family and friends. Those are ones that we have lots of contact with. Our middle ring relationships are people that we see in our neighborhood, around, their acquaintances that we have occasional contact with. And then there's our outer ring relationships, people that we only see every once in a while. And in our current culture, he observes, Mark Dunkelman, that we have invested most of our relationship capital in our smaller ring and outer ring relationships, meaning we prioritize our close family and friends, and on the inner ring, and then on the outer ring, we prioritize a lot of our social media contacts. We keep in touch with people who have like-minded interests. And what we are lacking is those middle ring relationships, those group of diverse people that are in our community or our neighborhood. And that's right there why we suffer as a community. It is so much easier for us to stay with like-minded people, whether that's in our inner circle or whether that's through social media on our outer circle. And we don't get to be able to have the growth and the dialogue that happens with people that are different from us. So being part of Temple Bethel, we have this opportunity to deepen and create more of those middle ring relationships. That while most of us are Jews or married to Jews, we still have very differing perspectives on religion, on politics, on parenting. And by being able to come together and dialogue, we expand our own sense of truth and growth. Small groups are an opportunity to do this, to get together with people who aren't just like you to talk about these things, but also to come to synagogue and engage and let Temple Bethel be an experience of tapping deeper into sacred community.